Hello and welcome. I am Raziel, and today it's a somber subject. We are talking about the contested death of a certain primarch. A death that gets brought up all the time on: is he alive? Is he dead? Yeah, and is he useless? Well, is he alive? No. Is he dead? Yes. Is he useless? Yes. Yeah, he's dead. I'm sorry. It's Rogal Dorn. He's a dead primarch. He's an ex-primarch. He is no longer eating seeds. He is pushing up daisies. He is dead. Anyway, so that's it. Like, what? He's dead. I know it's hard to understand, and for some reason, I don't even know why this death is so hotly contested at all among fans. It is very clear that this Primarch was not only useless, he's also dead. And if you want to know how useless he is, if he got to be Emperor first, Sanguinius would still be alive. And also that it's kind of funny to know that he is actually dead. Like, there's no contest here at all. And I will be going through all this speculative evidence about his being alive, which is basically just one line from Vulcan. Okay, but let's talk about him being dead first. And luckily, I just have to use the one book, which is the Index Astartes 2 book. And let's go to the one that most people bring up as evidence, because there's two, believe it or not. The first one is this. It's talking about Rogal Dorn attacking the Swords of Sacrilege. The uneven battle could only end one way, but Rogal Dorn was determined to inflict every last grain of damage, whatever the cost. He made his final stand aboard the crippled Sword of Sacrilege, a despoiler-class battleship that had been rammed. I'm sorry, every time I say that, it's like, if you get rammed by an Imperial Fist cruiser, aren't you getting fisted? Right. The Imperial Fist cruiser. The final report by the serving chief librarian commended their souls to the Emperor before Dorn led a desperate attack on the Swords Bridge. Now, this is usually contested because, like, well, I don't know why. It kind of says he's dead. I don't know why this is even contested. I can kind of understand why. Because, the people on the ship died before Rogal Dorn made the attack, maybe. But, no. It's a bit of a silly one. However, it's verified that he died, by the way, just so you know. And it is during the point about the pain glove. Now, the pain glove is probably one of the most silliest things in Warhammer 40k ever. And this is Warhammer 40k we're talking about. It's a glove that causes Space Marines pain to teach them self-sacrifice. The way Rogal Dorn died. And it's like, how does this even have mention of his death? Okay, so they're talking about them using it, and this again is a quote from the same book. However, the chapter tends to use the sanction with unusual frequency for a unit whose discipline is legendary, considering the circumstances of Rogal Dorn's eventual death. Right, there you go. He died. It's right there, black and white. Dead. Okay? And there you go. That's all we need to talk about. Okay, let's talk about Vulcan. See, one of the most common misconceptions about Rogal Dorn's death is when he died. We actually kind of know, because the first passage I read out actually kind of gives us a time of when he died. And it's interesting, if you picked up on it, you'll know that what I'm going to go into after this. Anyway, the first most common misconception around Rogal Dorn's death is that he died during the first Black Crusade. That's not said at all. That is not mentioned that he died during the first Black Crusade. It is a Black Crusade that he died. And I think that's where it's most commonly misplaced. Again, I'll just read when the attack happened, okay? Soon after the disappearance of Corax, Primarch of the Raven Guard, the Imperial Fist were asked to help against a Black Crusade, bludgeoning its way through the Cadian Gate. Okay, there you go. It's a Black Crusade. It's just, that's it. It's not really talking anything about which Black Crusade it was. And it's kind of weird, because during this story here, which I'm reading through, as evidence, Abaddon's not mentioned. So it's not even one of Abaddon's Black Crusades that he died during. So it's not mentioned in the Codex under the Black Legion. So we know he died during a Black Crusade. Which Black Crusade is unknown. Which makes Vulcan saying to Corland, I believe it was Corland, that he was going to go speak to Rogal Dorn. And it's like, how could he speak to Rogal Dorn if he died during the first Black Crusade? Well, he didn't die during the first Black Crusade. He died during a Black Crusade, not the first Black Crusade. So Vulcan being able to talk to him means he spoke to him before which this Black Crusade happened. And I'm saying Black Crusade a lot. So it makes sense, to be honest with you, that that conversation could still happen without even making it question whether or not Rogal Dorn is alive according to this source. Okay? It's quite simple. Now, there is one last bit of evidence to say that that conversation between Corland and Vulcan about Rogal Dorn happened before his death. And this is a bit of overlooked lore, but it's sort of lore that which really sort of tingles my brain because it's far more technical in narrative design rather than more technical narrative. It's more timeline based than it is actual literary written. You know what I mean? Story based. That one. It's narrative lore, it's technical lore, not narrative lore, which makes it really tingle my brain. That is the date of when the Despoiler class battleship came into being. See, that's what makes this really interesting, because the Sword of Sacrilege, which Rogal Dorn died on, was a Despoiler class battleship. And they didn't come about until mid-36th millennium. M36 is when they came about. War of the Beast, the discussion between Vulcan and Corland, was during M32. The Despoiler class battleship didn't come to being till M36. That's a long time. And that's even kind of backed up with more lore about Rogal Dorn. With this sentence, Rogal Dorn outlived many of his brother primarchs. That's a long time of when he died. That's 4,000 years between when Vulcan would have spoken to him to his death. 4,000 years. So the whole point about Vulcan and the War of the Beast to sort of say, oh, maybe he's still alive, doesn't actually prove anything. It just fits into Rogal Dorn's timeline. From being discovered on Inuit, to the Great Crusade, to the Horus Heresy, to the War of the Beast, to his eventual death during the Black Crusade, round about M36. There you go. Rogal Dorn is alive, not dead. And I'm really sorry for you Imperial Fist guys to really be sad about this, to learn this. And hopefully this can end the conversation permanently, because it's got to eventually, because I think so much lore and everything else gets passed over to really say whether or not someone said. I mean, I think people like making theories and not being complete with the lore at hand. Now, if I haven't read the lore, I will admit to it. It's like I haven't read this bit. So if you've seen any lore which contradicts what I have seen and shown today, put it down in the comments. I don't mind. I'll read it. I'll have a look. I don't mind doing that. Lore I don't like, obviously, and I will argue to the teeth that it's bad, but I'm not going to just say it's not right. So anything I've missed, just put it down in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Links to Wayland Games down below as always. Up to 20% off your Warhammer and free delivery after £20. There is also Forbidden Planet for your comics, DVDs, manga, etc, etc, etc. There is also Skyforge. Give him a like. Just give him a like on his Facebook. Just try and get him some boost. Him into the algorithm. He's a good friend of mine. I don't get paid any money from him, by the way. I would actually rather you support him more than you other ones. And finally, there is my merchandise as well. See you all in the next one. Bye bye.